if you would just communicate more like me, this conversation wouldn't be so difficult. Hey there. If you don't already know me, my name is Brian G. Murphy. I'm an activist, educator, and certified relationship coach, and I'm here to help you build and sustain relationships that are fun and fulfilling. I talk about relationships every single week here. Psst, subscribe for new videos every Wednesday afternoon. And I like to think that I'm a pretty good communicator, but I'm not perfect. No matter how much you read, watch, and practice, sometimes you're still just gonna mess up. So today I wanna share with you some of my relationship communication mistakes so that hopefully you can learn from them and maybe, if you're lucky, avoid them yourself. One of the things that I know that I do sometimes is judge my boyfriend for not communicating the right way. Relationship communication tools and techniques can be helpful, of course, but they should be leading us to understanding and not judgment. And so when I fixate on the way he's talking rather than what he's actually concerned about, I'm actually not being a good communicator in that moment, and it's something that I try and work on. It can be tempting for me to understand anger and frustration when I'm the one experiencing those things, but then thinking that my boyfriend shouldn't express his anger or frustration in ways that make me uncomfortable. And that's not fair. Empathy is at the heart of both of these. If I can understand why he's angry and frustrated, then I can work with him to make that better. And likewise, when I'm the angry or frustrated one, if I can step outside of that for just a second and put myself in his position and think about what it might be like to experience my anger or frustration, I don't want him to feel unnecessarily ashamed or scared or even more upset. So if I can instead focus on more productive feelings and shift the conversation in a more solutions-focused way, then we can get through this together. So I don't always do that, and it's definitely a communication mistake that I'm working on addressing. Another communication mistake that I fall into sometimes is getting defensive. That's an understandable human reaction. Now, nonviolent communication, which I'm a huge fan of, says that the first step is to observe without judgment. And I can't always do that. And even sometimes when my partner is sharing something with me that doesn't have any judgment in it, I can still hear judgment. In those cases, it's usually me judging myself. Quick PS before we keep going. When you have clashes in communication with your boyfriend, that can be super unsettling. The relationship might feel rocky, you might be worried if you can trust your boyfriend, you might be fearful of the long-term stability of your relationship. I totally get it. I have been there myself, and I've worked with a bunch of guys who have been going through similar things, which is why I'm putting together a new project for guys like us. So if you want to take your relationship to the next level, send me a DM here or on any of the social media, or just drop a comment below and we'll get in touch and I can share a bit about what I'm cooking up with you. Another communication mistake that I make sometimes is to try and logic every argument. As someone who really likes logic, my brain just kind of naturally goes there. But as someone who also talks a lot about the importance of feelings, when I focus on logic and parsing out exactly what happened and arguments and facts, I'm ignoring the feelings, the emotional reality of what my partner is trying to communicate with me, and that's a huge mistake and a missed opportunity. One of the communication mistakes that I make sometimes is less about how I'm communicating and more about how I think about communicating. And that's thinking that with enough communication or with the right communication, you can make any relationship work. As I said in last week's video, sometimes your values just clash, or your partner isn't gonna show up and do the work also, and in those cases, it's okay to restructure or to end that relationship. And that's not even necessarily a bad thing or a failure, it's just finding the best way forward for you two together. Next week, I'm going to be releasing a video on signs of a healthy gay relationship. So subscribe below and turn on notifications if you want to make sure that you see that. My last relationship communication mistake for this video is a big one, and it's trying to have a serious conversation when one or both of you are drunk. That's just not gonna end well. It has never ended well for me. And this is true even when me or my boyfriend are just a little bit tipsy sometimes. That just a little bit tipsy can be enough to set the conversation off on an unexpected tangent and go to a place where one of us isn't ready to go. And so I am trying to remember that if we've been drinking, it's not the time to try and talk about serious stuff. We're not gonna make good progress at best, and at worst, one or both of us ends up crying. If you want to learn more about how to have a healthy, fulfilling, amazing sex-filled relationship, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below. We're talking about all things dating, sex, open relationships, communication, trust, and so much more. I also put together a playlist on the 4 steps to more effective communication. You can go ahead and click the playlist video on the screen over there, and I will see you over there.